Hello.
First question.
What is, whoa, hi.
Hi.
What is Kevin's status for tonight?
Still game time. He's gonna test it out shortly, and we'll know soon.
Can you tell us what happened to him when he was injured, like some details on that?
Yeah, it was a transition play. I think 7:20 on the clock in the fourth quarter. Didn't really land. It was chasing down Kennard and just turned the ankle. Didn't really step on foot or anything. We've seen the play and found out when it happened. Just played the remainder of the game, and obviously adrenaline and it's still loose. But afterwards, swelled up, some tenderness, and got worse over the next day or so.
What will your starters be with Kevin and without Kevin?
With Kevin, last game, same as last game, and then without Reed and Tari.
Coach, what was Kevin able to do these last few days? Like, was he able to take part in practice, shoot around at all?
A lot of treatment, try to push the swelling out, which happened. It's obviously improved, but yesterday half of shoot around, basically half of practice, just to feel it out. I'm sorry, yesterday half and today half. So we went through some things. Obviously, we're not going contact right now, but just my half speed through some certain things. He felt, and this morning it still was a little mobility wasn't the best.
Kevin or no Kevin, what are some of the biggest directives to your team on the offensive end tonight?
Yeah, be aggressive and confident, and be in attack mode. I think the doubles that they're throwing at him, give us some opportunities to do that. And we've been a little slow and hesitant there, or spacing hasn't been the best at times. But then, in general, we want to play with more pace, and that's with or without him. I think game one we did that more. The game we didn't play, and fly up and down the court, half court, purposeful reads on offense and get to our spacing. I think they're throwing bodies at him and Alpi quite a bit, but opens up opportunities for other guys. And obviously the shooting numbers haven't been the best in both games overall, but expect guys to stay aggressive and snap out of that.
Hi, Coach. A follow-up on Reed. Can you guys like what his role in this team's offensive side will be like, and also do you plan to design more plays for him to maximize his three-point shooting ability? Because obviously Shingo mentioned that it's just not the ball getting in. So how will be him doing more on the team for
Yeah, so the role he's played most of the year, which is coming in and giving us a spark if he comes off the bench. As a starter, same thing. He's one of our best shooters and plays really well on ball, off ball. And they're not defending anybody the same way as Kevin, so you can free up and get those shots. I think you saw that in game one. I think the shooting numbers weren't great for him and Alpi and a lot of guys. We struggled a little bit there, but he got decent looks, and they're in a pretty traditional coverage. So have a ton of sets that can get him with great looks, and obviously it'd be helpful to knock him down, but those guys got to stay aggressive. And like I said, in game one, felt like they played more aggressive without Kevin. Shots didn't fall.
You spoke about practice yesterday about rotation tweaks in this game. Will we see more of the small ball five with possibly Jabari playing backup center, and also will Dorian possibly get his first minutes in the series?
Yeah, yes to both. I think small ball has been good for us. Some of the switching lineups, whether that's you count Jay Sean at the five or Jabari there, but we liked what we saw from that, in both games. The opportunity for that, and then obviously with Kevin being out possibly or playing more small, it opens up the window for Dorian, and so he's ready to go. Obviously the health has been an issue at times this year, but he hasn't played a lot lately and is ready to contribute.
Hey, Ime, because you guys had some good looks, especially in game one, how does that help your players in terms of confidence about offense, in terms of being able to shoot the ball? You did good looks, but just weren't knocking it down.
Yeah, stay with it. I think, we've been through some ups and downs this year at times, certain guys in slumps, but we stay confident. They need to stay confident and aggressive as well. And so, Alpi gets those touches in the paint. We know that for the most part, those are going to drop and stay the course. The percentages will shake out, even out, and it'd be a different series right now if you had knocked them down, but guys got to stay aggressive. And that's the main message to them. Is you're getting the looks that we're hunting for. Stay confident, aggressive, and knock those down. And so, understanding young guys, a rhythm, a shot or two can go down and get them in a rhythm, and that's what we're looking for.
Hey, Coach. You mentioned previously in the regular season kind of liking some of those 4-on-3 advantages that Kevin would generate when he commands those double teams. So this is dependent on if he plays tonight, but kind of just where were you seeing the breakdowns in game 2 when those double teams were happening, and do you still kind of like that as a general game plan or approach, generating those 4-on-3 opportunities?
I mean, you would say, you know, that's a great advantage to have those numbers. I think we've had ups and downs with that at times this year, whether it's a blitz or a late hit there. You know, we went back and looked at the numbers, and we've done well against it. It's hurt us at times in end of game situations, but you know, the main part is not to hold it. You know, when the pass happens, and first part is not turning over, but you know, being aggressive outside of that. And I think you know, just talking to Reed specifically and some other guys, they passed up some shots early out of that. You know, he's one of our best shooters. We want him to attack out of that, and then not just be relying on getting it back to Kevin, and then the clock is dwindling down and you don't have an advantage there. And so whether it finds the middle or it finds an advanced pass, you have the numbers on the backside. It's been some 2-on-1s and 3-on-2s that we didn't get the ball out. And so be aggressive, hunt those shots, and, you know, take it as a sign of disrespect if a team feels that they can come off you and take it out of Kevin's hands, and we're not going to make him pay.
Ime Udoka in the back. The Lakers upgraded Austin Reeves, your question, but we don't know if he's going to play or not. But I'm just curious, in the build of this series, what was it like preparing for a team knowing that like they might get either 1 or 2 of these huge pieces of their offense back? How did you how much time did you devote to an Austin Reeves version of the Lakers, and have you kind of had to just like, when you got that news yesterday, how much adjusting was there for you?
I would say not much early. We understand that he was going to be out for a while if the whole series, and so we prepared as if they're going to be out. And those last 5 games they played without him and Doncic, that was our focus. But you look at the sets and what we did against them previous this year, and you can look back on those and how they played. Very similar to Kennard and some of the actions they're running for him now. So it won't be a surprise if he comes back. But the prep was really on focusing on LeBron and how much he's initiating and handling the ball, and the difference they played in those last 5 games of the season.
When through 2 games, offense rather than defense has been the primary issue. What's led to your hesitancy at times, especially in game 2, to play Reed?
To play Reed?
Yeah.
A little bit of defensive slip-ups we've had there, and that's not just him, that's could be lineup based, but also when we made some runs, he was in on one of the runs, and then third quarter run, like I said, we're going more small ball. Usually we don't love Reed out there with the smaller lineups. We want, you know, size across the board for all the switching purposes, but yeah, the lineups that were working well, they got us back in the game. I'd say specifically in the third quarter, didn't include Reed, and so we went with those.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.